Hello, hello, Derbyverse. Welcome back. This is technically game for 5th place, the game 2 of our finals for Statewide Stampede. I am Harmon Miranda and I'm here with
Intensive Clare Unit. Hello, everyone. All right, before we get started, Geelong Roller Derby acknowledges the traditional custodians of the lands on which we live and skate, the Wadawurrung people. We pay our respects to elders past and present. GRD are committed to honouring the continuation of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders' unique cultural and spiritual relationship to the lands and waters and their rich contribution to society.
Super excited today. We have Ballarat Roller Derby League up against Pivot City Rangers, which are our Gippsland Rangers Roller Derby, plus Geelong Roller Derby playing together.
And Geelong Roller Derby are our hosts for today, so thank you to Geelong for hosting us here at Leisure Time Sports Precinct.
We've got like a vibe going. We've got the market, we've got Ruffles, we've got our big gay couch back, which has best viewing of the entire track. And the tiered seating, really, really good to see all the derby action. Yeah. There is no bad seats at this venue.
No, and if you're not at the venue, you've got great seats at home watching the live stream.
On your own big gay couch at home.
Yeah. All right, the teams are getting excited. They are stamping their feet. They are heading onto track. We've got 23 seconds until the game is due to start.
So skating for Ballarat tonight, we have 1 Sione, 111 Slasher Scissor Hands, 113 Willow the Wisp, 15 Jess, 16 Killer Pearls, 216 Hayley, 22 Corey, 266 Beck, 38 Miracle Roast, 55 Snipples, 7 Nitro Gin, 77 Vinter Skater, 97 Lucky, 99 Gussie. And on the bench today we have Zave, Alice, JR and Birdie.
All right, we're about to start, so we'll do our team roster for Pivot City Rangers maybe in a break, because I don't want to interrupt the start of the game. Do you think we have time now? What do you reckon?
Oh, no, rolling whistle.
Oh, there's the whistle. All right.
We have Corey up against... Oh, it's got to be Mad Pixie, right? If I can't see them, they're that little. So Corey skating for Ballarat, Mad Pixie for Pivot City. It's a guess. The pink skate. No, the pink skates give it away.
Yeah,
and that low stance to start with. And they're off and racing. Mad Pixie skims down the inside line. Scales the lead jammer. Not far behind at all is Corey. Chasing them down. Pack speeds around corner 2. Pivot City trying to take the front position in the pack. Ballarat saying no. Mad Pixie through. Calling before Corey can fall into the pack. I'm going to say that was 3, 2, 3. This is a very weird angle to commentate Derby from.
It is a little difficult.
Between turns 1 and 2, but I think that's 3 points for Pivot City.
All right, so I think I saw Dash lining up for Pivot City. Very exciting to see Dash back on track. And we've got Sione, I believe, for Ballarat. And there is the whistle. All right, and we are away. Dash taking the inside line and getting Sione stuck at the front of the pack. Sione taking lead jammer. Dash just getting through around the inside line there. All right, we've got Sione hitting the back of the pack there and calling it off. There's a couple of Pivot City blockers who appear to have gone to the penalty box.
Agreed.
So that means that Ballarat's going to start the next jam with a blocker advantage.
So that was 4 points to Sione in that jam. No points scored to Pivot City. So the lead change already, jam number 2. 4 points to 3 points. Oh gosh, now this is going to be tricky because the back of numbers is not visible.
Right. We've got Snipples for Ballarat.
5 Snipples for Ballarat against... Oh, Snipples coming around that first turn with lead jammer status. Pivot City jammer still fighting against a full complement of 4 Ballarat with only 1 Pivot Ranger to help.
Bianca. 2-2, Bianca.
It is indeed Bianca.
Snipples have done a scoring pass. Bianca exiting the pack on their initial pass. And Pivot City blockers returning from the penalty box. We now have a 3-on-3 situation in the pack. Snipples coming in. Calling it so that Bianca is scoreless. huge. And that was 7-point jam for Snipples, bringing Ballarat up to 11. Pivot City Rangers still on 3. But I'm going to say it's early days.
It is
3
very
minutes into the
early,
game.
very early. All right, we've got Corey lining up for Ballarat, and I believe Mad Pixie for Pivot City. I can see pink skates.
So that's a 3-jammer rotation.
Yeah, so back to the same rotation as the first jam, and Mad Pixie has taken the same inside line out of the package did in the first jam, followed closely by Corey. So it is a race around the track. Both blocking pods are moving quite quickly.
Yeah.
The jammers are having to race to catch up with these blocking pods. Blocking pods trying to get themselves in formation, but Mad Pixie deciding to call it off there on the second straight rather than try to fight for some points there. So
some beautiful fast roller derby, jostling for positions.
Yeah, so a bit of a strategic call off. You know, you don't get any
safe.
points, but the other team doesn't get any points either. So
that's right. If I can't have any, you can't have any.
Yeah, no one gets anything.
No points for you. And we do have Dash back on the line, and I'm going to assume against Sione as we're running these 3-jammer rotations.
Yep,
Ballarat. Dash around full lead on the outside. Sione straight through the middle into her own blocker, but has exited the pack. Ballarat taking the front position. Dash indicating to her teamies to do a little bit of offense on the way through. I've got time. Lovely 4 points before Ballarat gets any. Decreasing the, the difference. 11-7. Pivot City brings it up to a 4-point game at the 4.5 minute of the game.
All right, so we've got Bianca for Pivot City and Snipples for Ballarat. There's that 5 seconds call. And they're away. All right, little solid blocking. Snipples taking the inside line. It's been a successful line for jammers so far this game, but a big hit there by, who was that? That was Wipeout. So forcing Sione to recycle to the back.
I think we've seen Bianca head to the
Bianca
penalty
has
box.
gone to the penalty box, so Snipples is the only jammer on track, fighting her way, trying to get out of this pack as the Pivot City blockers continue to reform around her. A bit of assistance from Vintage Skater and Killer Curls there to try and break up the Pivot City blockers as they force their way out the front, but Snipples has made it through for their taking lead. Pass, re-entering the back of the pack, and a big sweep there from the Ballarat blockers to push those Pivot City Rangers blockers out of the way. Bianca has re-entered the pack and is trying to get through those blockers. The front Snipples hitting the back of the pack. It's out at the front for her initial pass, and Snipples is at the back of the pack. They're having a look. Where is everyone? What do I need to do? And to call it off before Bianca comes to the pack to score any points.
It's an exciting game. Well, these should be the closest games of the
tournament.
tournament.
They should
We've had
be.
a whole year down to this ladder.
So at the end of that jam, that was 7 points for Ballarat. So Ballarat is now on 18, and Pivot City Rangers are on 7.
Got Mad Pixie up against Corey again.
Be interesting to see
if this continues or they change things up.
These rosters get shifted around.
So Ballarat blockers taking that front position again. Corey tries to tiptoe down the outside and is unsuccessful. Mad Pixie one left at the front. Gets lead as she exits corner 1. Corey drawn back, taking a run up at the pack with the Pivot City blockers at the back. Uses that inside line to their advantage, exiting the pack. Well, Mad Pixie dances through with a juke to the outside. Gets their 4 points. Looks to the bench. Am I going? Am I calling it? Corey, meanwhile, scoring some points. Mad Pixie attempting to jump over Beck from Ballarat. Not successful on the landing. Didn't stick the landing.
Impressive nonetheless.
Oh, apex jump flew in. Successive or not. Another 4 points for Mad Pixie on that second pass. 1 scoring pass for Corey. So Pivot City scoring 8, moving them to 15. 4 points for Ballarat, bringing them to 22. Yep, that's in Dash. And Yep, that's Sione.
All right, we're going to start recognising their skates and stuff,
Oh,
so
that's a
that
good
we
idea.
don't
Look for
have
the
to
legs.
try and see their faces from so far away. All right, Sione around the outside line, but a hit out there from, it looked like Storm knocked her out, so recycling around the back. But nevertheless, Sione has taken the lead. Dash is still trying to fight their way through the pack. Sione is coming back around the outside line for a little cheeky scoring pass. A little bit of blocking there on the inside line, but has managed to make it through. Dash has taken off the star and has passed it to number 6, who is
Storm.
Oh no, 6 is bad juju. Sorry, 0, 6 and 6 confuse me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Sione has called it off. So we had a star pass there from Pivot City Rangers, but that was, is that score correct? Oh, something's happening to the numbers on the scoreboard, so not sure exactly. But currently it's saying 22 to Ballarat and 15 to Pivot City.
Pretty sure that's from the previous jam.
Yes, the numbers are changing as we speak, so we'll just check in again later.
I didn't think Pivot City got points. I thought
No.
they did their star pass and didn't get around for a scoring pass that last jam.
What I thought also.
Oh, good.
But yes.
We have the footage to check later.
The officials can fix it.
Certainly can.
Oh, here we go. That looks better. That's
Yeah, 4.0 scored, so 30 points for Ballarat, 15 to Pivot City. We now have Snipples fighting the Pivot City green blockers at the front with Bianca. Using that inside line, you're right, it seems to be the internet superhighway today for jammers.
Yeah.
Only about a 30, 40 foot lead on Snipples, and Snipples is shrinking that lead. Pack-wise, 4 Pivot City blockers, 3 Ballarat blockers. Entering the pack, but nobody gets any points.
No, I think one thing, last time I skated here, the angle of the track in comparison to the wall is a little
really
disconcerting, and you
yeah.
forget where, it's hard to get your bearings about where the track markings are.
Yeah.
And so you think the inside line is actually not where it is.
Oh, I agree. If the track's tilted to the walls and that's not where I train,
yeah. So I think keeping that inside line closed for blockers.
Yeah, it's not going to tighten up until later in the game when you've worked out where your bearings are.
Yep.
Oh, should we quickly go through the
yes.
Pivot City?
So today for Pivot City we have 05 Mad Splatter, 06 Storm, 111-2 Dakota Blocker, 22 Bianca, 247 Turbo Kerbo, Billy Golf, 30 Bombshell, 51 Melonhead, 52 7-3 Liz Williams, 7-6 Mad Pixie, 8-8 Wipeout. And on the bench, we've got 25 Lawless, 42 Mina Nina, and 99 Morbid Murder.
As always, thanking our colleagues who make roller derby possible. Shout out to Beard Casts for all of you watching online. He's magic behind the live stream.
Yeah, it's really makes it really great way to share derby with your friends and family if they can't make it on the day. It's fantastic that we're able to live stream.
Especially how statewide travel. Statewide is a route from every corner of Victoria.
It's a long way to travel, so if you can't make it, we're really lucky to be able to watch from home.
I had what I'm calling a statewide stampede sleep in this morning. We're only an hour 20 away, and with the 9:30 later start, it was luxurious this morning. And that was our rolling whistle. Back to the action.
All right, we have Corey lining up against, I can see pink skates, so Mad Pixie, I'm just going to assume. Mad Pixie, yes, busting through the middle of the pack, straight through the middle to take lead jammer. Corey is taking the outside line on the first turn. The Pivot City blockers are reforming quite well. Corey, they're pushing really hard and have made it through. Mad Pixie is back also through for a scoring pass. Couple of Ballarat blockers are in the penalty box, making life a little bit easier for Mad Pixie and a little bit harder for Corey. Blockers reforming at the front, but not quite able to get themselves all the way together, Pivot City. So both jammers are now out. A little bit of jammer on jammer action, very friendly. A little bit of a bump there from Mad Pixie before she called it off.
Big smiles from both jammers.
It looks like a rough and tumble game, but everyone's quite friendly, I find.
That's right.
A lot of friendliness on track.
Frenemies, yeah.
Frenemies, yeah.
This is actually quite a fast-paced game. I'm like, is the track a little slipperier than usual, or is today's strategy to get to the front and control the pack?
Yeah, it might be how these two particular teams
Just
play.
yeah.
Or it's possible that one team is kind of dominating or forcing the other team to play their
Always.
way.
Dash against Sione. Dash making short work of the Ballarat blockers at the front. Sione third of a track behind. The reforming and waterfalling by this pack. Everybody gets back together real quick. Dash asking for some quick O. Sione's been headed to the penalty box. I don't think Dash was aware of that though. They've gotten a couple of points and called it. Unaware that they were not being followed closely behind by Sione.
The pressure was not on.
That's right.
But what that does mean is that Sione will be starting the next jam from the penalty box, and Bianca's come on track for Pivot City as the only jammer on track. So that is a fantastic opportunity for her to get lead. She's got a bit. She can make the most of that get lead and control this jam. So the blocking starting out of the starting area. Pivot City blockers holding back blockers to spread out a little bit to keep pack. Back around for another scoring pass. Pivot City blockers holding back, doing some passive offense by the looks of it. Just
get them rolling, then stand still.
A bit of pack manipulation to force the Ballarat to kind of spread out a bit, and in order to keep pack. Bianca pushing around, take the inside line. A little bit of offensive assistance there, but now Sione is back on track, and the Pivot City blockers trying their best to hold her, but she has made it through there on the third turn for her initial pass and is now able to start scoring points. Looks like Bianca is still stuck there as the Ballarat blockers reform. Big hit from Binderskater, knocking her off track, and that is the end of that jam. I think it was a call off.
Yeah, classic laying on your side on the floor.
Yeah, you think, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, not worth getting back up.
As a blocker, when you fall down, you don't have that choice. You just have to keep going.
True.
No control. So it's currently the scores are 30 for Ballarat and 30 for Pivot City.
We have Snipples on the jammer line for Ballarat up against Mad Pixie. We have not seen this pairing as yet. Mad Pixie gets lead jammer, and Snipples big hit out by Dakota Blocker.
Dakota Blocker's a solid blocker.
Yeah, very skilled. And as Mad Pixie is entering the pack on her scoring pass, Snipples is exiting the pack on their initial pass. Mad Pixie gets their 4 points, continues around, looks to the bench. What is the bench deciding? We're going to try and run it a little bit, try and get more of a, increase that difference between the scores, because it's such a, another little apex hop from Mad Pixie. We've got Snipples out at the back. Mad Pixie pops out the front, calls it straight away for another 4 points. 8 points for Pivot City. 2 points scored by Snipples there for Ballarat. So lead change, 38 points now Pivot City, leading 36 points by Ballarat.
And there's only 2 points in it. There's been a few lead changes, I believe, and yeah, it's a close one.
I think I would have let Mad Pixie do a couple more, just stockpile that lead, but then you need her to have her energy for the whole game.
Yeah, strategy.
Tough questions the bench has to ask.
All right, so Dash on the inside line, Corey around the outside line, big hit there, but Corey has resisted that and has made it through on the outside, followed by Dash coming out also on the outside line. All right, let's watch these blockers reform. A little bit of offensive assistance from Vindicator, but Corey not able to take advantage of that.
That looks like Corey was hit by 3 blockers at the same time.
Yes.
Totally different directions.
So classic stack and call from Corey there, but just in time as Dash had not made it to the back of the pack and was not able to score any points. So another lead change, 1 point in at 39 to 38. Ooh.
This is the kind of derby we came for, finals derby.
So stressful.
We are heading into the second quarter of the game. We have Bombshell out for the first time, jamming for Pivot City against Snipples. If I'm not mistaken, only jammed 2 jams ago. Looks like 3 on 3 in the pack. Both jammers are. Bombshell exiting the pack just before turn 2. Snipples still fighting at the back of the pack. Sliding down that inside line to exit the pack on their initial pass. The pack is not staying still in between jamming and exiting it. They get a bit of a roll up. Pivot City taking the back. Ballarat at the front. So Snipples now facing 3 green blockers at the back. Bombshell calling it at the front. Do they get all the points?
Looks like 3 and 3.
I think it's 2 for Ballarat by Pivot City.
Pardon. So that call-off came just after a couple of blockers had been released from the penalty box. So both teams should be starting now with a full complement of blockers. Oh my God, the scores are even, tied, 4-1 each.
If you're one of those people that plays the drinking game, or you could be hydrating, get your Powerade up.
Oh, the stress. All right, Mad Pixie and Sione are the jammers on track. Mad Pixie down through the centre of the track, out the front past Vindicator as the last blocker. Sione also making it through. A couple of chase out from the Pivot City blockers, but she made it through nevertheless. All right, the pack is a bit messy. Get themselves back together so they can get in their defensive formations, which is to the benefit of Mad Pixie, who really nimbly just dived and weaved through that.
She really wanted the 4 points before calling.
Yeah, absolutely. So called it off. 1 point to Sione. So
nice steal from Sione.
Oh, a little point there. 42 to Ballarat and 45 to Pivot City Rangers.
Call-off timing is so important. Yeah, like.
Yeah, you've really got to maximise the advantage.
All right, we've got Corey lined up against Dash. Oh, I'm loving all these changes to the lineup. Dash by Dash tricks the Ballarat blockers into thinking she's about to pass and exit the pack. Corey coming in to score some points. So we have just got to wait for the scoreboard. I don't trust myself. 46 lead change, 46 to Ballarat, 45 to Pivot City.
The scoreline diagram up and down is the same as my heart rate.
Points differential is like a flat line.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yes, it looks like
I think it is a
Ballarat
derby.
will be calling a timeout.
Not your coffee kicking in. I think this is a derby that's got the energy out.
Yeah. So now we've got a timeout that's going to go for a minute. So I'll take a moment to let you know who our amazing non-skating officials are today. We've got Scare Bear as our head NSO. We've got Jackie Ono, Scare Bear already said, Abby Normal, Rules Vern, Blizzard, Donna Kebab, Muggles, Crush and Buster Hammy. So thank you for volunteering your time, non-skating officials.
And then we've got some officials on skates as well. We've got Frankenherder, Disaster Chief, Florence the Machine, Mitch Demeanor, Executioner, Smackaron, Mayhem and Mari Fury. Thank you all so much for letting this exciting, magical game of derby occur.
Yeah, we can't play without our officials, and they do a great job to keep everything fair and safe.
Agreed. Speaking of safe, thank you, First Aiders.
Oh, yes, and I do this every time, but let's take a moment to remind you all, do a first aid course, everyone.
Yeah, support your local derby league, do a first aid
Yeah,
course.
You never know, it might come in handy for your friends and family.
Yep.
Good bit of knowledge, support the, local community sports clubs, support your, what is it, the Red Cross, who runs the courses?
St John's?
St John's, yeah, support them. Do a first aid course, everyone. That's all I have to say about that.
Sorry. End of timeout. I wonder what they were talking about. 46 to 45. You don't want to change up much unless you know it's going to work.
Yeah. Is it a risk?
Was it just a pep talk? Was it? Oh, I'm so intrigued.
All right, so it looks like we have Snipples lining up for Ballarat and Bianca for Pivot City. All right, Ballarat with one blocker in the penalty box, which looks like Rose Norman. And Snipples has taken lead jammer, and Bianca not far behind. Beck coming in for the chase there, but she's made it through unscathed. All right, these blockers trying to reform. A little bit of offense there from Ballarat as Snipples tries to take the outside line, reforming to the inside line. Calling it off just as Bianca slides around the outside line, trying to get past her own team to sneak a few points, but unfortunately did not get any. So 2 points to Ballarat, bringing them to 48. No points to Pivot City. They are on 45.
Increasing their lead by 66%.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow.
A 3-point lead.
Whatever they talked about, it worked.
I think that floor is pretty slippery. Like when Beck went for that big hit at the front there and then sort of ended up doing the cartoon spin afterwards. I think there's a... If you train on a slippery floor, I think you've got the advantage today. We've got Sione up against Mad Pixie. Mad Pixie, balancing on one foot on the outside line, falling down. I'm not sure. I think it might have just been one hand that went out of bounds, therefore they can stand up and keep on going. Sione, a third of a track behind. Pack is reshuffling into their favourite configuration. Pivot City at the front, Ballarat at the back. Mad Pixie hits, pushes her butt backwards past as many hips as she possibly can to maximise points earned whilst not travelling through the pack, and gets 2. 2 points for Pivot City, bringing it back to this 1-point game, 47. 0 points scored to Ballarat, but they're still in the lead at 48.
It's really important as a jammer. You've got to understand that you get the point when your hips pass the blocker's hips. So you don't have to get your whole body past. If you've just got enough time to sneak your hips past, stick your bum around, get those hips past those hips, you get that point. So, you know, it can make the difference between wasting a bit of time trying to get all the way around and sneak a point and call it off.
You got half stack of butt in there, got 50% of the points like that.
Yeah.
I think there's also that time when you're a blocker, get up at 3 a.m. in the morning and like, I'm a point. You realise that you're a point and it's something to protect. And then if you've got friends in the penalty box, you're like, I'm more than a point.
Yeah.
So we've got an official review called by Ballarat at this stage. Yeah.
No. We don't know what it's about, and
we'd rather make it up.
Yeah, we're not going to find out. But, now we have a timeout. We've got a few more announcements to make. Let's get through all our announcements in the first half, and then we can relax and watch the derby. We can have shenanigans in the second half. So we would like to also thank our photographers today who are here today and at many of the other rounds. We see these wonderful people out there with their cameras about making us all look beautiful and amazing.
Or capturing our derby dirt faces.
Yeah.
You know.
So thank you to Scout from Alrighty Production House.
That's Hawkeye.
Hawkeye from RXA Photography.
And I'm biased because he told me to tell you all he's handsome, but I just said I'd say he's my husband.
And we've got Ra from Social Grind Media. Lucy from LJ Champion Creative Media.
That's a good name. How prestigious does that sound?
Yeah,
LJ Champion Creative Media. I'm working with that company.
Yeah. And Nick from Purple Nebula. So thank you for volunteering your time, not just here today, but also all the time you spend
editing afterwards,
and posting and sharing.
And all that money you pay for hosting the photos on sites and using Statewide Stampede as an excuse to buy new equipment. Yep. Just me.
Getting a bit of insight here, I think, into how it works on the other side of the camera.
That was our rolling whistle. I don't see any change to the penalty box.
Yeah, it looks empty, so
maybe something got wiped or unsure. All right, so who have we got?
Corey and
this has got to be
Mad Pixie.
Back to the beginning.
I just saw a little face poke out there.
She starts so low in those jams. Both jammers headed to the outside. Mad Pixie pushing a tripod of 3 Ballarat people straight up the straight. Pops through, gets lead jammer. Corey throws off the final Pivot City blocker at the back of the pack. And also exits on their initial pack. Speeds up, shuffles through. Pivot City all sort of taking person to maximise the point. Pixie. And then sprint off into the sunset to protect their points. Nice, quick, fast 4 points for Mad Pixie, who kind of ends up at the wall of her bench for some reason. I suppose that's what happens when you've got excess speed.
That slip.
Pivot City back in the lead for 48 for Ballarat.
Yeah, that was a good jam from Pivot City. 4 points, and don't waste any time.
Change the momentum.
Yeah, all right, now I can't see who we got. Snipples for Ballarat and
somebody wearing green.
Somebody wearing green. I think it might be Dash. Yeah, so Snipples taking the outside line, making it through very nicely, but has been assessed a cut track penalty. So Dash is the on track, still pushing their way past a couple of Ballarat blockers trying to hold that line. Big hit out there from Big Skater. Dash is being recycled round the back. Dash has stashed the helmet cover. I'm not sure if lead was called. Lead was not called, and because Dash took the hat off, Dash cannot be lead. So it looks
Dash
like no lead.
No lead.
And anyway, Dash coming back to the back. The Pivot City blockers holding back to try and do a bit of pack manipulation. Now they're coming through, do a little bit of a sweep to try and break up the blockers. Dash doing a little spin around the outside on the third turn. Couple of blockers to get past, pushing that pack forward, spreading it out. Snipples has returned to the track with 2 Pivot City blockers to face, trying their best as a couple in the penalty box. Snipples has made it through now on her initial pass. Dash taking a big hit out the front from Vinta Skater. Looking to the bench, what should I do? But you can't call it off.
You can't do much, no.
You didn't get lead because there's no lead. So anyway, meanwhile, Snipples has come through for another scoring pass. Oh, first scoring pass, sorry. Dash on the inside line of the first straightaway. So both jammers are racking up the points, sweeping around the outside from Snipples, but hit out and forced to recycle to the back. Dash hitting that there. Are holding them quite well, but Snipples having a much easier time coming around the outside. A hit there from Vinta Skater. Vinta Skater, quite an experienced block, so one to be careful of. Oh. That was Liz Williams.
Oh, yeah, Liz Williams, yeah.
Long times. So the jam came to its natural 2-minute conclusion.
We could blame that on the internet.
Yeah, okay. It's not my fault. So that was a pretty huge, humongous jam.
Yeah.
Lots of points for both teams. 12 points to Ballarat, bringing them to 6. Oh, I looked at it. 10. 61.
They scraped the lead in.
So after all of that work,
down that inside line while Bombshell for City Rangers is stuck behind a Ballarat tripod. Her O comes back and helps her, and she is also out of the pack. Scoring pass. Bianca.
on there.
There seems to be I think has got an insubordination and will be have Ballarat in the lead by 3 points. Got a pacemaker, kind of medical condition with heart rates. This is not the game to be watching today. There's people that you're not going to see the second.
You're allowed.
Although if you're doing it with just hydrating fluids, then you're going to be well hydrated and
yeah, definitely.
make sure you go to the bath.
All right. Is that what I'm looking at? I should know that.
Yep.
I've done enough jam timing.
Is that hands
but on track, we've got and Corey lining up as the jammers. So advantage to Ballarat. Pivot City trying to do a big sweep around the front. And it seems to work because Mad Pixie has made it out for lead. Corey is not that far behind. And the block is trying to reform. Pivot City doing a bit of offense to try and break up the Ballarat reef. Spread out. Out. Corey is now out on the inside line. A bit of slipping and sliding on this second turn. I think the floor might picks deep at the 8. Looks like she a good followed closely behind by. So 4 points in with
8.
All right, so 6, Pivot City, 23.
Left in this half.
Oh my God, the stress.
And we've got a bit of a blocker advantage to Ballarat here. It's 2 green Pivot City blockers where we've got 4 Ballarat blockers out. Sione is taking the inside. Dash, well, let's be honest, Dash takes both sides. They're a very lateral skater. Sione knocked to the in by 0.5 Mad Splatter and drawn all the way back to the back all the way back to the back. Yeah, back at the pack. Big hit on Bad Juju on the he only gets out for lead. Dash past that helmet cover Bad Juju. The tripod for Pivot City. So only pushing, he said, trying to get all the points. Somebody's going to the box. Not a jammer. Looks like Dash is going to the box. Whilst Bad Juju gets through for their first scoring pass. Pivot City still only have 2 blockers on the track, which makes it much harder to stop a jammer. Not impossible, but obviously 4 friends, a lot easier than 2 friends when it comes to stopping a jammer.
Yeah, you do like to have your friends with you as a blocker.
Totes. So that was an 8-point jam for Sione for Ballarat. 4 points scored by Pivot City Rangers. Pivot. We now have 84-77. That almost feels like breathing room in this game, which in a normal game that's a teeny tiny score differential.
Yeah, it's blown out.
Yeah, a whole 7 points.
Oh,
My lord.
all right. So I don't know who I'm looking at. Snipples for and history for Pivot City.
It's Bombshell.
It's Bombshell. All
There
right.
are like hardly any blockers out there.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So Snipples has made it through. Bombshell is still stuck in the pack there, but trying the outside out by Killer Curl. Cut through the middle of that tripod. Snipples slicing around the outside, making it look easy.
Yeah, backwards.
Bombshell's working really hard. Pivot City blockers are now reforming, coming up a little bit. Keep packs. Snipples being chased down by Melonhead, but Melonhead is not able to make it there in time. Bombshell inside line, and it appears that Bombshell has been assessed a penalty, I think a forearms. So Snipples now is the only jammer on track. So that's 100% offense.
Backwards around the outside with Snipples.
So elegant.
There's no pivot on the track for Pivot City either. I think there's a bit of a confusion when they did that.
They did seem a little kerfumbled at the start. Kerfumble? I made up a word.
I loved it.
I don't know what it means. All right, so Ballarat doing passive offense a little bit to try and force that bit of pack manipulation, get Snipples an opportunity to push through and spread out the Pivot City blockers. Bit of a hit out Melonhead, and Snipples says, you know what, no, I'm not running back.
And they're icing Bombshell in the box
I'm going
there.
to call it off. So Bombshell is standing, so she has a less than 10 seconds in the penalty box. So
That's a huge jam from Ballarat. 16 points. That lead now is lead.
yeah, was that 23 points?
And I'm going to say that comes down to purely to penalties. Pivot City didn't have enough people on the track to...
Yeah, keeping your penalties down is really important. It can make such a difference.
Yeah, because I think these teams are really evenly matched when they're all on the track.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have Corey starting unopposed.
Melonhead doing a great job trying to stop Corey.
Corey balancing on 1 footer on the inside line. Out for their initial pass with lead jammer status. Bombshell does a similar thing, a 1 foot balance as they exit curve 1. Corey trying to go through for some points. Gets knocked out, drawn back, goes back for the second time. Knocked to the outside, calling it off with a full, something, is that 3 points? Scored 3 of the 4 points before calling it off, leaving Bombshell scoreless. So Ballarat pushes their lead out by that little bit more, 103-77.
All right, we've got
12 seconds
a couple of seconds left, so I don't know. I can't use numbers, so I don't know if we're going to get... Are we going to get the jam or are we going to run out of time? Oh, yeah.
The reason it's red is because the scoreboard knows. So there was less than 30 seconds on the period clock there.
Yeah.
So the 30 seconds times out after. Basically, there's no time for another jam because it was less than 30-second gap in there. Somebody could have called a timeout and forced us to have another jam, but didn't happen.
All right, so we now have 15 minutes of intermission, half time. So now's the opportunity to get a snack, go to the loo, have a calm down.
I was going to say a bit of meditation so that you're ready for the second half.
So if you're here with us today in Geelong, don't forget we've got raffles and we've got stalls and we've got all kinds of fun things for you to peruse and purchase over near the entrance area. So head on over to the stalls and see what there is on offer.
Otherwise, we'll see you back in about 13 minutes for the exciting conclusion of who will be 5th this year at Statewide Stampede. Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of the most exciting game of roller derby ever. Okay, maybe dramatisation, but it's been a very exciting game so far.
Yeah, it's an exciting game of the last half an hour.
I agree, completely, 100%. Big thanks to Beardcasts. He is doing an amazing job. He is all-powerful, but he cannot control the internet, so we apologise if the reception that is getting out of this building is dreadful. So where we left you before we went on our bathroom/meditation break was Ballarat Roller Derby is in the lead, and it's a huge lead for this game considering it's been like 3 points, 1 point, 1 point, same points.
A lot of lead changes all over the place.
And so 103 for Ballarat, 77 for Pivot City. So they've got a claw back, 30-point differential almost. Rolling whistle has commenced. Less than 30 seconds to Derby gameplay. We've got Pivot City
for Ballarat.
Only 3 Pivot City blockers on the track, which is a lot for them. Oof. That was one of those when you fall down, I fall down. Corey knocked down at the front, still gaining lead, but allows Bombshell to catch up and is now only 20 feet behind as they both come round for a score loss. Pivot City trying to take the front of the pack, making it as possible. Bombshell entering the pack at the back, up against a solid wall of 4 of Ballarat blockers there. Corey going to take advantage of the almost 3/4 of a lap. Oh no, now done a full lap because Bombshell front, but was recycled to the back. Corey also being recycled by, I can't see the number, by an amazing Pivot City blocker. And Bombshell 4, Corey is out for 8. Calling it off, increasing Ballarat's lead. Ballarat now on 111, Pivot City on 81.
What's that? Is that 30
That's 30,
points?
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Numbers are hard for me.
You're mathing it. Now a full 30-point lead, biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, it's blown out. All right, let's see what happens if Ballarat can continue to maintain and extend their lead, or if Pivot City can bring it back. We've got Sione for Ballarat.
And Dash.
Dash for Pivot City. So Dash went knocked down at the back. Sione pushing out the front. Pivot City blockers reforming, trying to stick together, but Sione cutting through the outside line of the apex and taking a lead jammer.
Oh no, it is Mad Pixie.
Oh, sorry, Mad Pixie.
My bad.
Mad Pixie taking the inside line and not getting lead. Sorry, Mad Pixie. Sione doing a little sneaky little low kind of slide around the outside line with a big hit from Melonhead, knocking her out. So she's decided to call it off before Mad Pixie can re-enter the pack and start scoring points.
I think we should take a second to is that the first time anybody's seen Mad Pixie not get lead?
I think that might be the first time we've seen that today.
Definitely today, but it's few and far between when Mad Pixie doesn't get lead.
Yeah, so it looks like no points to anyone for that jam.
Really?
That is what it says.
I think Sione should have got a couple.
Well, now there's an official timeout, so it's possible that we're talking about that. But it might, perhaps Sione might have been knocked out before she passed, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm going to have to go back and watch the video footage.
We will see what happens.
See what happened. And it looks like we also have the Ballarat bench creeping towards the middle. Do you think that's, are they checking the points? Do I need to call an official review?
Or see who's talking to who in terms of...
Yeah, is it somebody talking to the score? Or
it looks like the one of the jammer refs is having a conversation with...
I think Zave just did the
tracker.
Couple of fingers to the jammer ref, and the jammer ref agreed. So I think they're trying to get the 2 points. So there we go.
Zave is coming in towards...
they're happy now. They got the head nod.
All right, so
4
we
points.
just need to get everything organised before we continue. So that in these games like this, all of the points are very important.
Oh, yeah, you'd hate to get to the end and have lost by the 2 points you didn't get.
Devastating.
It was 4 points in the end, so that's exciting. 115 to 81.
All right, we've got Snipples for Ballarat, and I think it is Dash. And Snipples still...
Big hit by Liz Williams.
Yeah, Liz Williams is a really solid blocker you want to be careful of. So... Killer Curls and Binter Skater holding at the sweep from Killer. Yeah, look, this is why I'm told.
Valid. But...
So it's 115 30 points.
By the Pivot City
Yeah,
blockers.
Sniffles are taking the hat off and on.
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to say it was Bianca versus Corey. Now it's just Corey.
Bianca to the penalty box.
No, and
Bianca's
returns.
coming back. Bit of confusion.
Yep. Obviously, just had to bit of FOMO. Had to check out, come back. Corey has come out with lead. Bianca now has cleared the pack on her initial pass. Their initial pass. Corey pushes up the inside line, scores 4 points. Looks to the bench. Bench is saying run it. Bianca coming in to score some points now as well. Corey's going to be entering the pack just as Bianca exits. Wall of Pivot City at the back of the pack does not hold Corey. Corey goes through for the 8 points total. 4 points to Bianca. Stretches out Ballarat's lead. 120. Wait, is anything going to change? No, 123 to 89. I don't know. I think the winner of today is the person that masters the slippery floor and masters the edges with, as you said, the orientation of the track and stays out of the penalty box. Because these teams are similar skills and it's almost play in a similar way.
Yeah, they seem to have a similar strategy, like fast-moving pack.
Yeah, everybody does. It's team-o, it's not individual-o.
Yeah. All right, so Sione out the front and Mad Pixie also out the front, but Mad Pixie making it out first. Sione did a bit of a stumble. Now she's being held there really well by Dakota Blocker. Pivot City Blocker still holding Sione, but Mad Pixie making it through on the second turn, having a look at the bench, still going around. A couple of big hits there. So Pivot City have got one blocker in the penalty box, so Ballarat with that advantage, but their blocking pods are not quite all together. So Mad Pixie is able to force her way through and cut to the inside line there. And Pivot City blockers, just the three of them are doing really well to still be holding Sione, who's trying to get out on the outside line at the second apex. Another big hit from Melonhead, but it looks like Sione stayed on track there, holding her own. Mad Pixie out again for 4 points, looks to the bench, calls it off.
Pivot City in another couple of those.
Yeah.
Really well done there. And the blocking, like it was together but individual. They'd all sort of take a turn at it without it being scrappy or
yeah. And if as blockers, if you can hold that other jammer really for as long as possible and just lock them down, it really gives your jammer a great opportunity to just run it and just rack up those points.
It's a power jam without the other jammer in the box.
Yeah.
So well done. So that was 12 points to Mad Pixie there, bringing Pivot City to 101 against the 123 of Ballarat. We now have Snipples up against Dash. Dash pops out really with a bit of a hug to one of their blockers on the way through. Snipples has one green blocker to beat, also exiting the pack. Pack reforms with two Ballarat blockers at the front, one Ballarat blocker at the back. Dash dukes to the outside, goes to the end, gets their 4 points. Snipple being caught by that tripod. That's that same tripod that Snipples had trouble against last time, but not as effective this time. Snipples also able to score 4 points. Dash coming around for a second scoring pass with a full complement of Pivot City blockers at the back. Dash calling it as Snipples hits the pack. Dash was able to get, I think, 3 points. Maybe that's true. 2 points on that last pass, 1 point to Snipples on that last pass. So technically a win for Pivot City Rangers, 7-5 there. Closing that gap down to 20 points, 128 to Ballarat, 108 to Pivot City. Bit of a momentum change, I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think it's slowed down a bit and a bit more of like locking down the jammers by the blockers, by the looks of it. So let's see what happens next. We've got Corey for Ballarat and Bombshell for Pivot City. Corey taking the outside line at the front of the pack. One blocker get past and pushes their way through. Corey is a very strong jammer.
Very.
So Pivot City coming back to do a little bit of assistance there for their jammer, but unfortunately that means they're not able to get their tripod reformed in time because Corey has bust right through and they have taken some points there. Bombshell on the outside, hit out from Vindicator being recycled back. Corey coming around straight into the middle of that tripod, but trying their best to stay together. Everyone has stacked it and they're trying to reform in front of Corey and hold the pack at the same time. And Bombshell at the back is pushing her way forward. 2 blockers to beat now. Vindicator's been sent to the penalty box. there are 2 Ballarat blockers on track doing fantastic little bit of offence there, sweep to the side to make life a little bit easier for Corey. And now they've got to try and stop Bombshell as she comes around, cuts the inside line, makes it look super easy, quick and easy, sneaky 4 points. Corey also taking that inside line on the 3rd turn for scoring some points. So a bit of a rotation of skaters in the penalty box at the moment. Bombshell cutting through the middle of those 2 blockers and breaking that link and sneaking... oh, no points on that last pass. Okay, that's a shame.
Okay.
So that was a great jam. But a lot of happening for both teams, but 16 points there to Ballarat Roller Derby, bringing them to 144, and 4 points only for Pivot City, bringing them to 112.
So Ballarat had 2 blockers out there for much of that jam. I think they were a little bit more successful than Pivot City because they sort of did more O with their 2 as a 2 defence wall, sort of same, but...
Yeah.
Okay, we now have Mad Pixie against Sione. Sione skipping down the outside line. Mad Pixie started on the end, switches to the out, and is now chasing down Leone. Blockers are jostling for whereabouts in the pack they'd like to be. It's a very fast-moving pack now. Mad Pixie overtaking Sione. Pivot City is at the back of the pack, so the points are further away for Mad Pixie. Wow, I don't know if very many times then managed to call it off. Who got what? 2 points to Pixie, 0 points to Sione.
Yeah, so that is a situation where Sione had the power as lead jammer, but Mad Pixie was a little bit faster and a little bit sneakier, and able to squeeze some points.
Because the green blockers were at the back, they were closer to Sione, so it was kind of a calculated risk. Anyway, paid off for Mad Pixie.
All right, Snipples for Ballarat, and I think Dash for Pivot City. Yes,
agreed,
Dash.
yes.
Dash is moving pretty fast and hard. Vintage Skater coming to some offense to try and break it up for Snipples. Dash being recycled at the back there by Killer Curls. Snipples at the front part of the pack. Dash in the middle, Dash to the front. One blocker to get past. It's cutting around the outside to get through. Snipples is now at the back of the pack. Those Pivot City blockers are kind of a little bit spread out from each other. But they're still managing to hold Snipples. Dash taking the outside line, being knocked down. Snipples has got through, but has also taken off the hat. So a bit of confusion there. The helmet cover has been removed and now being put back on. Dash still stuck in the pack there and has called it off. So 2 points for Dash on that pass and none for Ballarat.
It's a lot of work for 2 points.
There's a lot of work for 2 points, yeah. All right, so both teams have got one blocker each in the penalty box.
Got Bombshell lining up against... Nope, team timeout called by Ballarat and called at the last second.
Bit of clock manipulation there.
So we are 11 and a half minutes into this last half of roller derby. Ballarat do lead 144 to Pivot City Rangers 116.
All right, got let you know some fun announcements for today's game. We have a first bout, a debut for Jess from BRDL, so keep your eye out for number 15 Jess. Congratulations, debuting in the finals round. It's exciting. And also, this is the last round of Statewide Stampede. It's our finals round, so there's no more games to come up that we need to talk about. But if you want more derby in your life, for the second half of the year, of course you do.
Who would not want more derby in their life?
We've got the East Coast Clash tournament that's coming up on the 16th and 17th of September. So there'll be a lot of local teams. Some of the teams you're seeing today
and
play.
interstate
and
teams.
some teams from interstate. So seeing some new faces.
Sunny McLeod, that's only a little bit of a hike here from Geelong to...
Yeah, and we had one of the rounds in that venue. So if you've been at following Statewide Stampede, that venue will be familiar to you. It was a nice venue. I liked it.
I didn't like the parking, not going to lie.
Oh, I got there really early.
Yeah, if you didn't get there early, it's a bit of a hike.
I got there before it started, so got myself a park.
Nice. All right, we have Corey on the line with the Pivot City blockers at the back of the pack this time. They are up against Bombshell. Bombshell pushing to the front. Corey running down that inside line on their toe stops. Bombshell says, I'll do the same thing. Ooh, taken out by a falling Ballarat skater. And then Gussie to beat at the front, and Bombshell exits the pack. Corey coming around to score some points. Ballarat effectively breaking up that tripod of green. Corey knocked to the floor on the inside, and I think you called it the stack and call.
Yeah.
That manoeuvre, the stack and call manoeuvre.
The fallen call, it alliterates better.
I liked it, and like as you said, only applicable to jammers. A blocker stacks, they've just got to get back up and get back to it. So 1 point for Corey in that jam. Still in the lead, Ballarat at 145. To Pivot City is 116.
Is that 29 points?
Oh, I'm going to agree with you there.
Ooh. Anyway, we're hovering around the 30-point mark, so for Ballarat in the lead.
More than a 4-0.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Snipples up against Mad Pixie. Mad Pixie being pushed out there by Lucky at the outside, but has taken lead status. And Snipples being knocked down, forced to recycled. Meanwhile, Mad Pixie is back in the pack after her initial pass, ready to start scoring. A bit of offensive assistance from Dakota Blocker, trying to keep those blockers apart. All right, Lucky being sent to the penalty box, and also Snipples. Okay, so this is an interesting situation. Power jam for Mad Pixie, and Ballarat are down a blocker. So, Vindicator nearly taking out the breath there. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for Pivot City to rack up some points. So Pivot City need to be doing a little bit of offense, trying to keep control of the pack, keep control of the game so that Mad Pixie can do her thing. Doing some passive offense now, forcing a bit of pack manipulation. So another 4 points, but Snipples, is back on track.
Mad Pixie just stepped over her.
Yeah. So both jammers are on track now. Mad Pixie giving a bit of instruction to her blockers, coming around the inside line of the straightaway, doing a little spin manoeuvre, coming around. 4 more points. All right, now Pivot City, you've got to hold on to Snipples so she doesn't come through and score points. A huge bit of offensive assistance there from Killer Curls, being a real disruption. But Mad Pixie spin, stack.
Yeah, I'm not calling that the stack and call. I think that's the spin and call.
That was a spin and very elegant little manoeuvre and a call off. So that was a really good jam for Pivot City. 16
Amazing.
points to Mad Pixie and 0 points to Snipples. So now the differential is 145 to Ballarat and 132 to Pivot City, which is
closed over half the gap. 13 points, yeah. Mad Pixie's masterclass in footwork then. She defies gravity. It's just amazing to watch.
Yeah, very nimble.
Dash against Sione. Dash is fighting for Ballarat blockers at the front. Liz has come up to do a little bit of O for them. Meanwhile, Sione's taken that inside line and has got out with lead jammer status. Dash does the stash. Sadly trips and is recaptured by the Ballarat blockers. Sione gets 4 points coming around that inside line. Dash's blockers come up to help do a little bit of O. Get them out of the pack, exiting on their initial pass. Not quite reforming in time to capture Sione, however, who goes through for another 4. Bench. Not sure the bench said to call it then. Sione calls it. 8 points, 12 points, yes. 8 points to Sione. I never trust the scoreboard straight away. I've made this mistake too many times.
Yeah, things can be confirmed and
yeah. Okay, we're going with it. 8 point change to Ballarat, 153. 0 points to Pivot City Rangers, 132. And we are now entering the 4th quarter of roller derby.
The final one. All right. So we have Snipples and Bianca.
Bianca's back out.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bianca recently. All right. So
they've been blocking,
Oh, okay. Snipples out the front, slides around Storm at the front there, and Bianca's being held at the back of the pack there, but has made it through on their initial pass. Snipples is where? Oh, right there. Right
behind that tripod of green.
Oh, God, I can't see. Holding on pretty hard, calling it off, and Bianca doing a little spin around the outside of the Ballarat blockers to try and get some points, but unfortunately no points. See that sneaky move with the hips there. So that was 2 points to Ballarat, 155. Pivot City, 0 points, 132. 23 points. Is that? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
oh,
you are. You're mathing the crap out of this today.
Let's do roll derby. I don't do numbers.
I've only got to count to 4 at a time.
Yeah.
All right, we have Corey up against Mad Pixie. I can see the pink skates. So both of them ducking left to right, inside to out. Corey pushing to the outside line. Mad Pixie was down, but she's popped back up again. Drawn back by Gussie. Takes the inside line. Gets lead. Honestly, they both exited the pack almost at the same time. Pixie with a slight advantage. Pixie is actually lead, but they're having way too much fun jostling for position. Nope. Pixie looks across to a jam ref. Calls it off. No points to anybody. I guess that's the tricky thing, isn't it? If Mad Pixie can shut down Corey scoring, that's great. But if you can't score any points either, then that's not an effective match for your team.
No, I mean, you might score 12 points, but if the other team also scores
12
points,
yeah,
you've basically scored nothing. So
I love Freight Train's concept of different jammers having different roles. Like, is your role to be the point scorer? Is your role to be the points holder? Kind of.
All right, I think it's Dash,
And Sione, Dash and Sione.
Sione, yeah. So Sione on the inside, cutting to the outside and breaking up those Pivot City blockers. Dash being held at the back there. Ballarat staying close together. Sione has made it through. Dash still stuck there. Offense from
Beautiful offense.
Pivot City. That was Liz Williams, a big hit there. So Dash has now made it through. Sione coming towards the back of the pack, speeding up a little bit of offensive assistance there, breaking up the pack. Ballarat is now reforming back together. So Sione has made it out the front of the pack at the third turn, called it off just before Dash hit the back of the pack. So
it's Ballarat trademark skating backwards while calling it off.
You just look cool, don't you?
They do.
You're like
they
backwards,
do.
you're like, yeah, and also look at the control I have calling off the game. Or the jam, sorry.
Well, they've got their 4 points. That's like, you're allowed to celebrate.
Yeah. All right, so we have a timeout.
Yep, looks like Pivot City have taken a timeout. Sorry, we just had RXA Photography come over to show us a photo of the commentators in the box. We're not looking the happiest because we're intrigued by the game. Yeah.
The strength of the game.
We're serious. So Ballarat did score 4 points in that jam, bringing them to 159. Pivot City still chasing 132, completely attainable, but because we saw the first half of this game so close, it feels like this epic, huge gap, when realistically it's not that big a gap for a roller derby.
Yeah, so we've got 11 and a half minutes left in it, so you know that it is possible to close that gap, to take a lead and another lead change. So it could be a close finish, but at the same time it's also completely possible for Ballarat
to just maintain or blow it out. Yeah. Mad Pixie did get a 16-point jam unopposed in the last.
A couple more of those, and it's a whole different ball game. Well, it's not a ball game at all, to be honest. But you know what I mean.
The most hated question in roller derby: where's the ball?
So I think second only to. So do you play on rollerblades?
Technically, you can ref in blades, but we will make fun of you.
You can ref in blades, but you cannot play in blades.
Nope. No ball, no blades. All right, rolling whistle.
Alrighty, so skaters are returning to the track. We have Snipples for Ballarat.
Is that a pink skate? No.
No, it's wearing shorts.
Bianca. Bianca versus
Bianca's
Snipples.
pushing really hard at the front there. Yes,
from the
nice.
pivot.
Just a break around the outside there of Beck. And Snipples
avoids three different hits.
All
the way to the edge.
Pivot City holding, but they got to get that tripod reformation. Okay, work together as a team. Come on, yes. All right, Bianca coming around the outside line, busting through a couple of little dancing manoeuvres to get past. Having a little bit of conversation about the jam refs having a conversation with the outside pack ref. I think we're just going to confirm if any points were scored before the call.
I reckon that's if we're going to confirm it was a cut or not, because I think she entered and then called rather than stayed out and called.
Okay.
But again, I'm angry she called. You were lead. The other jammer is on their initial pass. You were 30 points behind. 4-0 is not going to cut it. Do another one. Get another one or two. Get another scoring pass.
Well, we're having an official timeout. So
they're in the box.
Yeah, it looks like there was a cut. So Mad Pixie's leaving the track. She will not get to skate this jam.
And they wanted that. They wanted the momentum of Mad Pixie going in when they just had a unopposed scoring jam.
Yeah, so now Corey's got that opportunity to have an unopposed scoring jam.
Yeah. So Ballarat starting with we're going to stand still and force you to bridge out green blockers. not really necessary. Corey battles four blockers, leaves one on the floor, gets lead jammer status, comes back around for a scoring pass. Does that good on wave my blockers on to do some O. Killer Curls comes in to do a bit of a distraction. Corey's now just going to keep pushing and pushing as the Ballarat blockers reform ready for the return of the Pivot City Rangers jammer. Corey's battled hard for 4 points, going around for another scoring pass, whilst Bianca is returned from the box and is fighting Ballarat blockers at the back of the pack. Corey pushing a tripod of green for a split second, then going around the outside. Bianca pushing one of her own blockers through as a battering ram in the hopes of exiting the pack. Does so between turns 2 and 3. Corey doing some kind of hand signal that means something to the Ballarat blockers and means absolutely nothing to me. Unsure if it worked or not. But getting knocked to the outside, calling it off. Won't get a full 4 points on that last pass, but brings it to a 10-point jam for Ballarat. 0 points for Pivot City Rangers, 169 to 132.
Yeah, and that's really important at this point in the game because while we said earlier it's sort of still in the balance, those kind of jams, 10 points unopposed,
in a close scoring game, have such a big impact. It's a much bigger impact.
Makes it so much harder. We're now 37 points difference, and that's really hard to deal with in a 9 minutes remaining.
Agreed, as you're getting more tired and as you've got people on higher amount of penalties.
Yeah, so we've got Sione and Dash as our blockers currently, and as our jammers, and Sione taking the outside, just getting through on the outside. Both jammers out at a similar time, but Sione has taken lead, making it out at the front. So Dash is not far behind, putting a little bit of pressure on Sione. They're having a little bit of a giggle. What's our plan? All right, so Jammers hitting the pack around the same time. Sione deciding to call it off. So that was looks like 1 point was snuck through there for Dash. They got 1, and Sione got 2 before she called it off. So
similar to last time, quite a late call for Sione, and worked in her advantage this time by 1 point.
So 171 to Ballarat, 133 to Pivot City.
38 points. It's a fair chunk to catch up in 8 minutes. So Pivot City starting with their tripod stretched at the front of the pack. We have Snipples up against Bombshell. Bombshell just takes that inside line, made it look easy. Snipples moving in to out, being locked down by a wall of green. Vindicator trying to offer some offence, taking out one of the green blockers to the back of the pack, but there are more green blockers on the track, happy to step in front of Snipples. Bombshells through for 4 points. Snipples almost through, falls down, is going to be recaptured, not recaptured. Blocker chasing them, heads to the penalty box. Bombshell taken out of bounds with Vindicator. Calls it, that was more the tumble and call. It wasn't just a stack and call, that one. There was a full body roll happened there. So Bombshell getting 7 points in that jam, unopposed. 6 points.
6. Spoke too soon.
Somebody had a math fail over there. So it brings Pivot City Rangers up to 139, chasing Ballarat Roller Derby League on 171. We have 7.25 minutes to go.
And we've got our initial matchup.
Is it Corey and Mad Pixie?
And Mad Pixie. So two very different jammers, both very good jammers.
Both successful jammers,
yeah. So interesting matchup, very different ways of doing things. Mad Pixie taking the inside line, very nice. Corey pushing through at the outside, then coming to the inside, pushing past those blockers, trying their best to hold them. But Corey is very strong and very hard to hold. So
I agree.
Mad Pixie coming up the back of the pack, taking the outside line, staying on her feet, very nimbly, very nice, and calling it off just as she's made it through before Corey is able to score any points. So really, I don't know how she's so nimble.
I think it's all that CrossFit. Doesn't she have decades of CrossFit? She's got muscles on her muscles.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. See, I
Low centre of gravity,
I don't do any exercise.
No, same. No, I do roller derby. My bench brain turns on again. I would have been like, Pivot City, call your timeout straight away, put 30 seconds back on the 30 seconds back on the clock because you need to catch up that time. Meanwhile, we have Sione up against Dash. Sione is exiting the pack as lead jammer. Dash is quite short, and I can't see what Dash is past the starter, Liz Williams, who's racing Vindicator out in the front of the pack. Pivot City Rangers are awaiting the return of Sione. Sione does not take off any speed entering that pack and apparently did not enter it legally. So Liz, who is the recipient of the Star Pass, now has a power jam. 30 seconds on their own.
Oh, the Pivot City bench is excited.
They've gone wild.
And the crowd goes wild.
Hit by Vindicator. Yeah. I could see it from here straight down the line. She got knocked out and her foot went out of bounds while she was on the ground. So that counts. And she stood up in front of Vindicator. So it's a cut. We're going to have a jammer bounce. Liz will sit the same amount of time that Sione sat, which I'm going to say is 20 seconds.
That's just a sit.
Sione's going to come back. Huge impact there. Sione not stopping for anybody.
Yeah, looks like the blockers just fell down on their own steam then. So.
Two Ballarat blockers going in to do some offense. Sione literally untouched on the inside line. Liz returning to the game from the penalty box. Shuffles, tiptoes, falls along the inside line. Fighting, curls at the front. Her teamies go wild. Sione knocked out by 8-8. Wipe out. Pivot City, recycle to the back of the pack. Obviously going to be a full 2-minute jam because both jammers have gone to the box, so we do not have a lead jammer to call it off earlier. Pivot City holding Sione at the front of the pack. Liz pushing Ballarat into the mix. That was a hard-working jam.
Yeah, a lot of work. Well, you don't get to call it off, you just have to keep going.
Yeah. 12 points to Ballarat, 11 points to Pivot City. Scores are 183 to 159.
So it was 2 minutes of solid effort and a lot of points scored for
1 point differential,
point,
yeah.
1 point gained. Got a few comments in the live stream. Someone says, hi, Zave. Hi, that's from Rebecca Burton. And Jessica Laprisi says, nice one, Bianca. So thank you for those of you watching at home. And thanks for your comments. All right, so Bianca jamming for Pivot City and has taken lead, and Snipples is just trying to get past Bombshell and
all their friends.
Storm, and now her friends have come and joined her. A couple of penalties scored there, however, so Bianca coming to the back of the pack, and Snipples now also only having to deal with a couple of Pivot City blockers and making it through on the inside line of the straightaway. Bianca being knocked down and returning to track as the Ballarat blockers are holding really strongly and keeping their formation, holding it together. Snipples coming around the outside, trying to sneak the hips around as the call off is made, and didn't quite get the hips around in time by the looks of it, according
0
to the
points.
jammer ref.
Yep.
So 3 points there to Pivot City, bringing them to 162, and 0 points to Ballarat, bringing them to 183.
2.5 minutes on the clock.
21 points difference. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen
Technically
20
doable, but I don't want to hold my breath.
It's possible. Anything's possible in this crazy game.
And that's Corey versus Mad Pixie again. Mad Pixie running down the inside line, getting lead. Now her blockers need to hold back Corey, though, if we're going to get that 21 points. Corey, however, is out on initial pass as well. Mad Pixie is getting some O from her team on the inside line. I'm not going to call it. Is it an apex jump, an apex hop? Oh no.
Cut track penalty.
Was not successful. Either took off out of bounds or landed out of bounds, leaving Corey to score unopposed. And Corey is out. Another 4 points for Ballarat Roller Derby. Gippsland Rangers setting up with 4 blockers. 2 Ballarat blockers going in to do a bit of O, get them moving. And then they're moving to, well, then they're not moving. Then Ballarat's going to stand still and force Gippsland Rangers to bridge out, which is a really effective strategy with Corey jamming, yeah? Corey's got the strength to keep pushing those blockers out of play. Ties them out, but we've only got 1.5 minutes left in the game, so...
Yeah.
Ballarat now reforming, ready for the return of Pixie, while Corey pushing through one more time. Another 4 points will be coming their way. Oh, man, Pixie kind of slid into that tripod. Pops out the front of the pack, overtakes Corey. So remembering again, this is a no lead jam. So we're going to have 2 full minutes, 34 seconds remaining. Mad Pixie being recycled. Coming back around for her second scoring pass. Corey coming around for a 4th scoring pass. Gippsland blockers at the back, able to knock Corey out. Mad Pixie able to pop out the front. Corey definitely has slowed down. Not quite as sprightly.
I imagine they're quite tired.
Oh, exhausted. If you're going to push 4 people, you're just one person. Corey out on... Okay, so now both jammers are out. They're within 10 feet of each other. I think we got 4 scoring passes to Corey, 3 scoring passes to Mad Pixie.
Mad Pixie did well to get quite a few scoring passes in there, considering...
Yeah, she spent 30 seconds in the box.
The penalty box. So
And exited the track from, like, the furthest point away from the penalty box. So there was travel time there too.
All right, so 16 points for that jam to Ballarat, bringing them to 199, and 12 points to Pivot City, bringing them to 174.
Pivot City decided to call the timeout.
Just in time.
Not scoreboard's caught up, yep.
Yeah, because something's happening there where the period clock's run out of time, but the jam clock is still going. So if we call a timeout, the period clock stops.
Correct, and we'll get one more jam in because it doesn't restart until the next jam.
And this is the first time out for Pivot City Rangers by the looks of it. So yeah, that was pretty tough work for both teams. 4 points, the difference in that one. So I guess in our final jam, can Ballarat Roller Derby crack the 200-point mark? Can Pivot City Rangers score 25,
74, 84, 94.
6 points and in one jam and win the game?
That's a big ask. I did see a 20-point jam earlier. Did you see a 24 or 20?
I think
there was a big jam in the ModCon one. I think it was just 19 and 20 though. I don't think I've seen 26-point jam.
There was
in
a
long
24 in the ModCon.
24, thank you.
24,
Thank you, Beardcast.
Beardcast's abusing his microphone here.
Now that we don't have jammer points anymore, jammer lap points anymore, it makes it a bit harder. Alrighty, now who's going to
put out
for the last one? Well,
I'm going to think that, like, in normal circumstances, you would have put Corey versus Mad Pixie again, but I think Corey's buggered.
Corey is taken off some of their equipment.
Dash versus Sione.
All right, and we're away. All right, Sione on the inside line taking the lead. Dash being pushed out, but staying in track. Dash has done this dash.
Now, technically, there's no time on the period clock, so
yeah,
we're playing in borrowed time now. Oh, beautiful coordinated O on the outside.
But unfortunately, Sione not managing to keep her feet and stay on track. And has decided instead to call it off. Oh, you could have got 1 point and you could have cracked that 200. I'm really disappointed. Oh, yeah, no, they did. Oh, I spoke too soon.
You
okay, 203 points to Ballarat Roll Derby. 174 to Pivot City is our unofficial score.
Amazing. So congratulations, Ballarat, on your 5th place in Statewide Stampede 2023 and 6th place going to Pivot City Rangers. What a game.
That was a very good game. All right, that's our rolling whistle. Big cheers from both teams' benches. So that is the end of that game. So congrats to Ballarat Roll Derby and well done to Pivot City. Coming up next, we've got Diamond Valley Roller Derby and East Vic Roller Derby playing for positions 3 and 4. So I've been intensive play unit.
I'm still Harmon Miranda.
And thanks, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.